Welcome back, everyone. This is going to be the final mini game, although most people don't refer to this as a mini game. This is something completely different. This is Challenge 21. If you've collected 100 books and you do not have this accessible, that means you do not have gold or better on all 20 minigames. Once you get gold or better, so gold or platinum, then this unlocks as a final challenge. This is a significantly harder version of the game with no cans, positive or negative, so there's kind of a plus and a minus to that, and 10 health in every single room. So every room you load into is 10 health. As well, little minor thing, a lot of, all the cutscenes are removed, a lot of downtime is removed, load screens, things like that. So, this category can be very quick if you're speedrunning it. Or even if you're playing it casually, it may take you less time, depending on skill level, than the base game did. Just because there's less loading, less downtime, things like that. But, so here's the thing. There are 4 types of rooms when it comes to this. There's the rooms where nothing changes, and you just have a different health value. There's the very, very few rooms where you actually, it's slightly easier because you're boosted up to 10 health. There's the rooms that are kind of difficult, just because your health value has gone down, but the room itself isn't too problematic. And then there's the rooms where the difficulty really kicks in. So kind of as we go through this, I'm going to go over kind of what changes, what doesn't, how the difficulty changes, how the approach changes. There's going to be a few strat changes in here, because you're not going to be able to do certain things. But, let's go ahead and get going. So, as I said, the other thing, you play as Amber. So, first room, not really going to be any difficulty. The only problem is you have to play this safe. This is a game mode. You kind of got to play this safer, or you're just going to take a bunch of deaths. As well, you are not given a super scary score on this, and as well, there is zero. There's only one medal for this, which is platinum. You saw I didn't go for the lineup because, again, Trivens doesn't come out; it just shoots you right into trophy. But as I said, completing this gives you platinum regardless. There is not a time-based or ranking system to get bronze, silver, or gold in this. You complete it, you get platinum. So, for Holy One, not too bad. If you're not careful, you can kind of get nicked a couple too many times. Trophy room, the only inherent issue here, there really isn't even one, is by the off chance that you completely mess up a sequence, you're going to have to run the room again. Because a failed sequence is 10 health. Which is another thing that becomes a little scarier depending on your ability to do the button sequences. Because when you start getting up towards like 8, 9, 10, and it gets a little complicated, then it probably gets a little scary, because if you can't, you die and you have to do the whole room again. So, expecting to die a lot would be a good idea, and just an expectation to have for yourself. Especially with some of the rooms, especially with some of how the no cans and 10 health affects certain rooms. Yeah, it can get a little ugly. Okay. For the most part, Chapter 1's really not going to have anything. Like, there's just not going to be anything there. Look, chapter 1 is just... It's still chapter 1. The only real strat change is at the very end of the chapter.
Oh, yeah.
But so far, again, we're kind of just going through. None of these rooms are really going to give any difficulty. Strats are not changing anything, nothing crazy. So, trophy, billiard, gaming. Billiard here, we're not going to have anything different. It's just as normal. It's just the inherent challenge is you got to watch your health. But typically, that's not too much of an issue. Grab our trophy. Throw the trophy. Nice. Very nice. Alright. And then... come over here. Pull the table. And we're good. So... the first... 15 corner... about 15 rooms are going to be pretty self-explanatory and not have too much issue. Over here, that's still going to proc. As well, there are no ghoulie introductions. A lot of the text has also been cut out. So, this is... if you are doing this as a speed run, you need to be prepared because this has like no downtime whatsoever. Like, room introductions are gone, character introductions are gone, certain text, cutscenes, it's all gone. So if you want a version of the game that goes incredibly fast, this is it. And you can see on the bottom that there is an internal timer. Obviously, that will not be the same if you were to time it externally. But, well, so we're 2.5 minutes in, we're already in gaming. And we're going to destroy a bunch of chairs. So, only downside here is we don't have access to our turbo. So we don't need to go even over by the turbo area. We'll break this. Grab this. And smash it. And there we go. And at the internal timer of 3 minutes, we're into the basement. And because there's no turbo, we don't have to go over to the side. We can just take the best passing possible in the basement. So you're probably looking at this so far, and you're like, yeah, this doesn't look too bad. Yeah, again, this is the easy part. There's some rooms get a bit evil, or put you in situations that you either don't know how to do because the game doesn't. Like normally you can skip them, or it's just downright just evil. There's a room on top of my head that I'm not going to spoil. That is downright disgusting for 2 reasons. Number 1, it'll kill you very easily. Number 2, it takes ages. It takes significantly longer to do, even if you know what you're doing. More on that later. Probably not this episode. Actually, definitely not this episode, because I'm going to keep these about 15 minutes apiece. So, we're in Relic. Fun fact. So, Amber's voice is just Cooper's voice on a higher pitch. Again, this game was kind of rushed because of the switch over from both with the Nintendo game to an Xbox game. So, yeah, there will be points where you will hear Cooper's voice, despite it being you. So, fun fact. Anyway, first Relic is always nice. You gotta be a little careful here. This is a room where if you're not paying attention, you can die. From personal experience here. Yep. Yeah, if you get kind of nicked a couple too many times, you can die in here. But fun fact, I believe this is the room. Nope, I think you're 10 health in here as well. I don't remember exactly what rooms have increased health. Just know that it's very few. Like, I only remember the ones where you start with one. Okay, now, cellar is going to be our first strat change. So, we don't have an Oko can, but we still got to close the door. Grab your bottles over here. And we're basically just going to chain a bunch of bottles together. And blow the door up. So, over here. Use the first 6. Punch the door into the corner. Grab the second 6. And go. With hitting the door, please. There we go. So, strat is a little bit different. You gotta change it. But it's not too bad. So, chapter 1 done. We are now on to chapter 2. Again, here you just gotta... Just in general, you gotta be a little bit safer with it. There's no turbo, so you don't have to worry about trying to grab turbo positioning or anything like that. And this should... I believe this text, please? No, it does not. So, again, you'd see, like, that whole text about going up to the lighthouse, showing the map, and then going down and telling you the story. That's all cut out. So. Alright. Scullery. Again, this is pretty self-explanatory. Same thing. Again, we're getting close to our first definitely changed room. I should call it a danger room because the strat is technically the same. But it doesn't make it any easier. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna go walk in the ballroom. I'm gonna get to this inside the ballroom. There's no text box there. I don't know what the fuck I did that for. Probably just have it. Almost exclusively have it. Bullshit. Well, the nice thing with this is I can just go again, and getting to that point is incredibly fast. Just trying to do this with 10 health is not worth it. Somebody, thank you. Okay, let's try that again. Yeah, trying to do this challenge with 10 health, it's a bit wrong. Luckily, that just means the less health we have, the quicker we can die and try again. And I will say, dying and trying ballroom skip again is significantly faster than trying to clear this room out. Because you're probably just going to end up dying regardless. So, go over here. And that was okay, right? This is where the problems start to set in. This would be actually the first room where if you don't know what you're doing, or you're not careful, you will die continuously. That's not a great start. Alright. Now I'm already down to 8 health. We need to follow this guy over. Okay, now I'm down to 6 health. And I might die? Yeah, these ninja imps are really, really annoying. And if I don't get out, I'm about to get swarmed. Which, no. No. Okay, we're good. Yeah, you can probably see the inherent problem with that. You can just get stun locked and killed. You kind of have to play that one carefully. And it's more just making sure that you're having trying to kick the imp that has the key as close to the door as possible. Because if you try to just, so let's say, for example, you want to kill that ninja imp right where he spawns, that's not going to go well for you, because then every one of them is just going to aggro you, and you're not going to have a good time. Alright, anyway, Lighthouse Store, nothing really changes. Living quarters, nothing changes. Take some unnecessary damage, that's fine. Alright, so we're in the lantern room. I'm going to call it here. So, in the next video, we're going to keep going, and then we'll see you guys there.